Are Garcelle and Sutton still friends? New details on Rift. Sutton Stracke is hoping that her strained friendship with Garcelle Beauvais can be fixed eventually. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills cast member was close to the 90,210 alum before she unfollowed her on Instagram following the rhobh season 14 reunion. Sutton appeared on Sirius radio show Jeff Lewis Live on Tuesday, May 6, where she admitted that the last time she spoke to Garcelle was the day that she announced that she would be departing rhobh after season 14 in late March. While the friends had been very close, Jeff Lewis pointed out that Garcelle has seemed most hurt by Sutton, who apologized for her actions. "I'm sorry for that," she said. "I would never want to hurt Garcelle intentionally, so I'm sorry she feels that way, and I'm sorry it went down like that. I hope that I can rectify things later," she admitted, revealing that she's going to give Garcelle space for now. "Sometimes, I think when you're really close with someone, and you get hurt in the relationship, sometimes you need some time away to heal. I'm hoping that we can rectify and fix everything." Sutton Stracke shares her plans for healing her relationship with Garcelle Beauvais. Sutton continued, noting that she will be ready to have a conversation with Garcelle about fixing their relationship in the future. "I think that down the road, Garcelle and I really need to have a long, thoughtful conversation that's private," she said. "I just hate that this has happened. Garcelle was a very good friend and I love her dearly." In a conversation with Briefing on Bravo in late April, Sutton admitted that she was optimistic about them reconnecting in due time. "I am hopeful, but," Sutton told the publication with a shrug, "I'm just hoping Garcelle is good and happy and on the path that she wants to be on, which I know she is." Sutton Stracke's reaction to Garcelle Beauvais unfollowing her on Instagram. Sutton has continued to give Garcelle space after she unfollowed all of the cast members on rhobh following her departure after season 14. Garcelle has chosen to unfollow all of the housewives, Sutton told Briefing on Bravo on April 20. "I can only imagine she needs a clean break right now. I love her and am giving her the space she needs." She reiterated this in that same interview with Briefing on Bravo. "I think we were all sort of in shock, but Garcelle is a very strong woman," she admitted. "And so she's going to make her decision and do what she's going to do. I just want her to live her best life and be happy." See Garcelle Beauvais' bold statement since her rhobh departure. Garcelle has been very active on Instagram since announcing her departure from rhobh. In addition to unfollowing several people on Instagram, she took to her feed, where she posted a carousel of images from a recent photoshoot to her feed on April 22. "Girl, do it for you," she wrote in the caption of the post. "Champagne and silence. A tale of two friends. The glitter behind the glamour. There's a quiet stillness in Beverly Hills that few notice. Behind the shrill echoes of clinking champagne flutes, the pop of paparazzi flashes, and the squeals of designer heels on marble floors, there are lives, raw, complex, and vulnerable." On screen, Sutton Stracke and Garcelle Beauvais were two women living the high life. Off-screen, they were something much more intimate, something far more fragile, best friends. They had laughed together over rosé-fueled lunches, cried through breakups, stood united in drama, and thrown shade with a synchronicity that bordered on choreography. But the thing about reality TV was that it had a way of blurring the line between authenticity and performance. Sometimes you forget where the cameras end and real feelings begin. The Instagram cut. It wasn't a press release. It wasn't a heated confrontation in front of Bravo cameras. It was a simple notification. "At Garcelle has unfollowed you." Sutton stared at the screen, blinking. Her thumb hovered over her phone like it had been paralyzed mid-scroll. The notification was subtle, but the message was thunderous. Garcelle, her confidant, had done the digital equivalent of closing a door without slamming it, quiet but final. At first, She told herself it was nothing. She probably unfollowed everyone. A social media cleanse, Sutton reasoned. But the silence afterward told a different story. Calls went unanswered. Texts turned blue and unread. The last words they'd exchanged were awkward and clipped. A quick goodbye after the season 14 reunion taping. The rift in the dress. It had all started subtly. During season 14, Garcelle's growing discontent with the group dynamics had become more visible. She had spoken up more, called things out that once would have been swept under glittering rugs. Sutton, caught in her own arcs and insecurities, had missed the signs. "I didn't mean to hurt her," Sutton whispered into her glass of Chardonnay on Jeff Lewis Live. "I never would. Garcelle meant so much to me, still does." Jeff had nodded with the empathy of someone who'd seen many friendships in Hollywood unravel. "I think she was hurt because you were the one she expected not to hurt her." And that stung, because it was true. Flashbacks and flashbulbs. Their friendship had begun not on screen but off. A charity event in West Hollywood 3 years ago. Garcelle had accidentally spilled champagne on Sutton's Manolo Blahniks. Sutton laughed it off. Well, at least now they're worth more. Garcelle had grinned, and they'd been inseparable ever since. From brunches to bold stances in reunion episodes, their alliance had often stood as a beacon of solidarity on a show rife with betrayal. Sutton had been Garcelle's sounding board. Garcelle had been Sutton's reality check. Together, they had balanced fragility with strength. But over time, the show morphed into something heavier. There were narrative arcs to uphold, alliances to reconsider, and fans to appease. Somewhere in the chaos of confessionals and covert texts, trust had been misplaced. When the cameras stopped, when Garcelle announced her departure from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, the air in the room had shifted. Even Andy Cohen looked taken aback. Sutton had expected tears or at least a private call afterward. But Garcelle had only said, "This chapter is over," and walked away. No hugs, no eye contact, no closure. Weeks later, when Garcelle unfollowed every cast member, it wasn't out of pettiness, it was clarity. She had said all she needed to say. The silence that followed was deafening. Sutton spiraled. Sutton retreated. She wasn't the kind to chase someone through their healing. She respected space, but that didn't mean it didn't hurt. She'd found herself checking Garcelle's Instagram more than she'd admit. The photo carousel from her latest shoot was bold, radiant, a phoenix in couture rising from the ashes of reality TV. The caption said everything. "Garcelle, do it for you." Sutton sat alone in her Bel Air kitchen that night, absently stirring her tea. "She is doing it for her," she murmured. "And I'm proud of her, but I miss her." Messages unsent. There were drafts, hundreds of them. "Hey G, I miss you. I'm sorry, I really am. Can we talk, just you and me, no cameras?" None sent. Because what could she say that wouldn't seem performative? Apologies in Beverly Hills often came with lip gloss and strategic lighting. Sutton wanted hers to be real. So instead she waited. Garcelle's retreat. Meanwhile, Garcelle was in Malibu, taking time off. Her youngest son had just graduated, and she was finally focusing on her memoir, something Sutton had always encouraged. But even as she smiled in interviews, something inside her ached. She hadn't meant to cut Sutton out permanently. She had loved her, still did, but the reunion had made her feel blindsided. Not betrayed exactly, just alone. Like no one had her back in the way she needed, least of all Sutton. So she pulled away, because healing sometimes required distance, not drama. A little olive branch. It was mid-May when a package arrived at Garcelle's Malibu doorstep. Inside, a single bottle of Runart Blanc de Blancs. A handwritten note was tied to the neck with a silk ribbon. "No cameras, no confessionals, just me missing you. When you're ready, let's talk. Sutton." Garcelle held the bottle for a moment, heart caught between walls. She remembered that very champagne, their favorite from the night they celebrated Sutton's boutique opening. They'd sat on the floor of Sutton's penthouse, drinking it straight from the bottle, laughing over nothing. She smiled. The first steps back. 2 weeks later, Sutton's phone buzzed. Text from Garcelle. Coffee? No press, no sparkle, just us. The message was simple, but for Sutton, it was everything. They met at a small cafe in Los Feliz, a place far removed from paparazzi and PR reps. Sutton wore flats. Garcelle wore a hoodie. No glam squads, no Bravo producers, just two women, unfiltered. The first minutes were stiff. Words came slow, with long pauses between them. But then the dam broke. I just didn't feel like you had my back, Garcelle said, eyes wet. I didn't realize I'd let you down. I thought I was doing the right thing, but I see now how it hurt you, Sutton whispered. I'm sorry, G, for everything, for not being what you needed. They didn't hug right away, but there was warmth between them, an unspoken thread reconnecting. Rebuilding trust. Healing didn't happen overnight. They started texting again, cautiously. They avoided the show and conversation, choosing instead to talk about real life. Their kids, books, Garcelle's upcoming projects, Sutton's boutique redesign. Trust returned in fragments. One night, Garcelle called Sutton laughing. Remember when you tried to cook that souffle and almost burned down your kitchen? Sutton laughed, eyes misty. Only you would remember that. The final word. By the time fall came around, they were seen together again, not at red carpets or BravoCons, but at a small art exhibit in Silver Lake. Fans speculated. Blogs wrote headlines, but none of it mattered. In a rare post, Sutton uploaded a photo of them together, side by side, no makeup, laughing. Caption: Real friends don't stay mad forever. Garcelle commented with a heart. Because in Beverly Hills, where friendships often sparkle then shatter, theirs had cracked, but not broken. And while reality television had brought them together, it was real life. Raw, painful, beautiful real life that brought them back.